Hi, welcome everybody. Okay, so I'm not going to exactly, I'm not gonna go through my words on this, but I'm gonna let this robot thing do it. Because I'm a far better rapper than I am a talker, but I wrote these words out so people have an understanding of sort of like my theory on how these things all sort of operate within this field, right? So I'm just trying to guide you guys through this as best that I can possible with the skills and the attributes that I have, alright? So here we go, let's run this.
If living on planet Earth is a school, then I believe the lesson we are here to learn is to not let separation tear us apart and forget who we really are. Just to look inside ourselves and find out who and what we once were before, and still are, then we will become ourselves and whole again. Once we realize this, we then figure out we are our own planet of consciousness. And then that it is our job and conscious duty to let that light shine through, and mirror all things around us, and let the beauty of it show. So it can help others to see it and find it within themselves, and then we watch all the children, young and old, that are here grow in this revelation of light. And we grow along with them. When this lesson is finally learned, we then move on, and find and create the universe around us. This is the third density Earth lesson of being. My quantum theory of everything. Heath MacArthur. January 25th, 2022. Tillicum. West Side, motherfucker.
Taking in any of my ideas and interpretations of videos. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this from the start here. Okay, I don't want to type that out for crying out loud. Okay, so I typed this out so I don't screw it up when I say it into the camera. So here I am, my name is Heath. Hi, nice to meet you. Okay, so any of the ideas and concepts that I talk about are nothing more than my own interpretations, and in no way am I trying to give any advice or any scientifically backed evidence of anything that I say. This is strictly for interpretational purposes of people to use their own free will and judgment, okay, own free will and judgment, upon taking in any of my personal ideas. I'm not trying to say that this is true, false, or whatever, because everything's open to interpretation. Everything's open to interpretation, okay? My own ideas and interpretations of videos. Okay, so I'm going to go, okay, so this is the stuff that I talked into here when I typed it into this thing, right? This thing's a cell phone. Okay, so first things first. So I'm going to go into this music video because I'm just showing you guys sort of right now, just sort of how folks, quick spur of the moment video here, because I got some new ideas that I want to give to people, and just ideas which kind of generates more ideas, because we are in the quantum field here, still in the quantum field. We're not in the metaverse. Just to give you guys an example, actually here, I'll give you guys a quick funny example of the metaverse. So I am going to go, you can call something like this predictive programming, but it's not predictive programming. It's basically putting an idea into people's heads, and then people's heads transferring it into a quantum field throughout their harmonic frequency that's in their body, right? So that's a cow. The cow's eating the grass. Let's listen to this lady. See what she says.
Outfitted his animals with virtual reality glasses to simulate.
So this is the metaverse.
Sunny skies. In other words, Izet says the cows feel more relaxed and are able to produce more milk because they feel like they're actually in a pasture instead of a sterile man-made facility.
That's right.
The VR glasses have been specially made for the bovines.
So,
Izet says he came up with the idea while trying to produce.
Long story short, that's an idea of how predictive programming sort of works and how you get an idea into the quantum field, or this is where the metaverse is heading, except instead of that fellow with the dual VR things on his eyeballs there, the cow's eyes kind of look like horse blinders actually. It's gonna be human beings, because, and just another example, like stuff like this, like let's see here, Doja Cat, cow. Just typing this stuff in. So this is another idea of predictive programming, or putting an idea into the quantum field and just generating all of our ideas, generating ideas. And you're gonna say, oh Heath, why is it done on a it was done on a webcam, low quality video? Because people are smart and they think a little bit ahead, because people are obviously gonna ask that question. They're gonna say, what is predictive programming? How does that work?
Yeah, bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow.
People are going to say, oh, well, what is predictive programming? How does that work? Or how did so-and-so get their start? They started on a webcam. If I was somebody that kind of already knew what was going to happen in the future, and I had to kind of pre-program people, this is just me talking, pre-program people, I would say, well, let's use older technology like a webcam or something like that, and just sort of set it up like it's a video, and then we can just sort of make a little story outline or a little plot line saying rise to fame, when in the meantime you're actually programming this quantum field with all these ideas of cows, and sort of putting that idea in people's heads, because as you can see, it's like an 8-bit reality behind her, right? So obviously, I mean, she didn't come up with this concept for this video on her own, I wouldn't think, or maybe she did, or maybe her parents, which her parents are probably some people that know some stuff that perhaps we don't. I don't know. But needless to say, I'll try to go through some of this and edit some of this stuff out. So when I came up with the idea for Only Now I View in Analog, so first things first. So I'm going to go into this music video, because I'm just showing you guys sort of right now just sort of how I would personally interpret music videos, and how this whole quantum field sort of thing works, with like how it generates ideas into the into people, and how these ideas and frequencies get transmitted through us into this quantum field, etherical quantum field, and how no matter what, they're going to take form in some way or another. It's a magnetic sort of a consciousness that's just sort of an ethereal field, right? So some people know this stuff already, right? A lot of people know this stuff already, right? But not a lot of people, but you know, maybe 1% of people. You dig. You dig it. Like even my hat, for instance, see what it says on there? That's an anagram for something. If you figure that out, then you're going to get some brownie points. It has something to do with the tongue going through the little symbolism. I'm trying to teach you guys symbolism here, and I'm not trying to be slick in any way. This is like my honest effort to try to show people how I interpret art. So with that art and, you know, different symbolism and stuff like that. So, and with this came a lack of ability to talk very well. So I gotta look at that otter, is fucking crazy. So I gotta do my best to try to kind of give it to you guys the best that I can do. So let's keep going here. So we're gonna go with, what the fuck's this guy's name again? Little Melvin. It's not Melvin. It's not Melvin. It is, what the fuck is that guy's fucking name again now? What the fuck is his name? Okay, Y&M Melly. Okay, so we're gonna go through this video real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys a thing or two on this video, just so you know. Murder on my mind. Mind on my murder, whatever. Okay, so this is some. I haven't planned any of this, right? So I'm just doing this sort of on the fly here, right? So, hopefully, stupid fucking light, doesn't matter. And turn this light down a little bit. Okay, so obviously you hear the snakes. Obviously you hear the snake sort of hissing in the back, right? And then this is the part that you gotta see, is the frog leaping out of the jail cell. So if you guys watch the video, Okay, that's all we need to really see about this, right? And sort of, and that symbolism is showing him rebirthing a new life, a new reincarnation cycle. So the frog jumping out of the jail cell was basically the consciousness leaving the jail cell, because that's a fourth density consciousness. That's which doesn't mean it's a bad thing necessarily, right? But it's a fourth density consciousness. Okay, let's stop this guy. Not that that's a bad song, or that this child, he's a child, is guilty in any way of any of these things or anything like that, but he probably made some bad decisions that brought him into not necessarily even bad decisions, but this is how this whole interpretation of this plays out, right? So with this, basically, so you've seen the part where the frog jumps out of the jail cell, which basically means that this is going to happen, and then when he goes to jail, because this is filmed before he went to jail, then his fourth density consciousness is going to leave that jail cell, and basically there's just going to be not just a mere clone of a body or whatever. There's, you know what I mean? It's nothing in there. So then the next thing that I'm going to bring up is behind the lyrics on this one. Behind the lyrics, because I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Heath, the Doja Cat video, da, 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 da. Behind the lyrics. So you're going to say, okay, well, the Genius lyrics, they don't predict the future, but Doja Cat went on Genius lyrics with that. Clicker.
Soul in it, like it's death in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? All I gotta do.
So I mean, just judging by the way that he talks, obviously, I don't think that he would have came up with the concept for that whole video of what happened there, right? So this is Genius lyrics, the same thing that Doja Cat was on. So I mean, this is all tied into the quantum network. So they know what's going on at Genius lyrics. He probably doesn't know what's going on, but semi.
Get up, Tom, get up. Like, yeah, fuck that song, man, that shit. I slid it for my cousin.
And I'm not saying that he's a bad, well, he's not the best person either. But anyways, he goes into details about how.
Stripping, shaking ass, fucking everybody. They supposed to be holding down for these niggas. Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47.
Okay, so this so that came out before he went to jail for the murder of those two other children that he killed, right? They're just children too, right? That's the way I look at it. They're children. They're young, and they don't really, I don't know, it's beyond me at this point. This is just my own personal interpretation, remember. So now you're gonna say, okay, Heath, so how does that tie into the Moo Cow video with Doja Cat? So I'm gonna show you guys this. Because the cows were in the freaking things on their fucking eyes or whatever, right? So I am going to show you the next thing here. Doja Cat. So we're just going through these videos. Doja Cat. What the fuck is the name of that song? Moo behind the lyrics. Moo behind the lyrics. Okay, so and now you're gonna say, okay, well, she's on Genius too. So I mean, this is all premeditated, right? Premeditated.
Was like a huge distraction for me. I would like go to hit the keys on the keyboard, and like I'd have shit in my way. Like I literally can't function with this, and I'm just like hitting the keys. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a song about cows. I've had intention of making like meme music that would maybe reach a wider audience, that would make people go, what the hell is this? I should share this. And I've totally thought that shit that I've made would go viral, but that wasn't really the idea behind this. I was just like fucking around. I made the song and the video in one day. I was sweaty as fuck. It was gross. I was just in bed, wig off.
Yeah.
Had makeup on, just covered in grease and French fry dust and oil, and just it wasn't pleasant, but the end result was great.
So you get the point, right? So that's kind of, whoops. So you get the point, right? So that's where I'm coming from with this ideology behind this, right? So I mean, there's obviously a plot line always behind these, behind the lyrics, behind the lyrics, behind the video, behind everything. Everything goes into this quantum field, right? So she might not even be aware of this, but if, let's say her parents were just like, just make some stupid video about this cows and then we'll do the background and we'll do all the stuff in the background. I mean, none of this stuff happens by accident, right? There's other forces behind these sort of ideas, right? So this is just a quick introduction on how this whole quantum field works, right? So I'm just giving, and this is my own personal interpretation, right, of something like this. It's just nothing but an interpretation, right? You guys do what you want with this, but I'm just giving you how I view it, right? Because I kind of know how this whole quantum field gets programmed, right? So this is nothing but interpretation. So don't say, oh, you shouldn't say this, that, or the next thing. This is not trying to offend people. It's just to open people's minds. This is how this stuff works, right? This is how this stuff works. Not that it's a bad thing or a good thing or anything like that. Like look at YNM Melly, like his new album that's coming out. It's almost slime. What is slime for? I mean, it's a fourth density consciousness, right? So people need to, get that through their heads, right? There's other forces at work here, right? So let's just go through one more video. Oh yeah, it's just a matter of slime. So look, it's right here, so you guys can see. Just a matter of slime. How does that even come up like that? Just a matter of slime. Just a matter of slime till you guys find out that there is a fourth density consciousness. So I was wrong about the name. Okay, so but that's quantum field. Just a matter of slime. So you guys are gonna see this and you're gonna say, and it works even with the internet to some degree. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more video here. Not 23. Okay, 23 is a big number because it had something to do with the amount of. I'm not gonna go into that shit right now. Let me see here if I can find this one more. MIA Travis Scott. Pre-programming. MIA Travis. Okay, so we're just gonna go through this one real quick. Don't need to go through all this shit. Just go to the end. So we're just gonna go to the end. I like MIA's verse in this, but okay. So the sheeps recognize, or the sheeps represent most people just kind of passing by and not being able to see what's really going on, right? And obviously this guy's some sort of a fucking right? So. And then that's her. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna pause this here. Okay, so she's dancing around like a plant because the plant, and then the sheep's passing by the plant, and then you're gonna see a whole bunch. And there's far more stuff that's going on in this video, but you're gonna see far more of this. So the sheep's running by the mirrors while she's looking in the mirror represents the fact that we're in 4 different mirrored versions of different realities. That's all coming from the source sort of thing, right? And most people are just going to run right by these different mirrored versions of realities, and they're not going to realize that they're in different mirrored versions of realities, right? So we'll keep playing this for a second. This is my own personal stuff. Okay, you see them crosses over, yeah? That's how you know it's us. So the crosses, it's some sort of it's Anunnaki symbolism there's symbolism for whatever. It's the cross, like Jesus was on the cross because he went against, I don't know, it goes in, but that's what that means, right? You see the cross, not some sort of like, regular. In my phony not for no shoulder up, them jack boys open cleaners up, the way they fold it up, yeah, in my white tee, yeah, all the pipe, Williams for the hype, please. They gon' wipe you before you wipe me. Yeah, I'm boxes of checks, now they gon' wipe you before they wipe me. I mean, yeah. She's dancing around like a flower amongst all these sheep because what's happening is because of the sheep sort of consciousness is supposed to be tied into the metaverse, right? So you're going to be going into the metaverse, into the sheep sort of consciousness. Well, some people are going to take on this plant consciousness, right? So I'm going to keep playing this for a second. Then I'm going to show you one more quick example. Where the fucking light be? Bangers in the system, it's bangers in the system, it's ancient Anunnaki. Okay, so she said it, obviously, yeah. But that's not just the fact here. Where the fact of the trailer being tinfoil, like not tinfoil, but it's a reflective surface, right? So all the transmissions that are coming down from sources or other sources that are affecting, she's shielded from them in this sort of a tinfoil thing, right? There's tons of different, but this is what this means, right? So she's sort of shielded from it, and she's some sort of a plant, right? But this is just so you guys have an idea, right?
Bangers in the system, is that bangers in the system, is that.
And nothing bad. I'm not saying anything bad about any of these artists. I'm just letting you guys know how do you start interpreting these music videos, right? I'm going to show you one more. This has nothing to do with any negativity or anything like that. It's just this is how you start to interpret these videos and these different concepts and artwork and stuff like that, because it all means a lot more than you might think at surface level, right? So that's all I'm saying, basically. And trust me, I take no pleasure in doing these videos. I just do it for the good of mankind. Okay, so one more here. Okay, close player. One more here. God. Again, YNW Melly and Kanye West. Whatever. I don't have to spell it right. Okay, mixed personalities, right? So that's the mixed personalities. So that's the one side is like...
Action.
So one side is the reptilian consciousness, the other side is the human consciousness, right? And that's where this consciousness is getting split up, right? And then you see the robots dancing. You see the robots dancing around the background. There's the robots. And this... fuck. Okay, you'll see that blue, that light blue, like sky blue thing that's on their forearm. That is it's a blood regulation system that sort of, it's supposed to be like the immortality thing for this whole new biogenic species, not species, but it's like the transhumanism agenda, right? And what that light blue plate is some sort of something that keeps you alive, and you're supposed to just do consciousness transfers and all kinds of weird shit, right? So nothing against any, like, I'm not bad mouthing any of these. They're nothing but just they're just showing you guys basically what's happening. They don't know what exactly. I don't even know what's happening. There's Kanye West in the fucking grass, right? Because that's just to show you. And the blonde hair, when he bleaches his blonde hair, means that he didn't sell out to the dark forces. They always say you gotta bleach your hair, sort of thing, if you're gonna sell out to these people, sort of thing, right? So that just shows that he didn't sell out to these people. So instead of selling out to these people, you go through a bunch of weird shit, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. And then, but the grass and the whole field is like the Mother Earth consciousness, right? Which eventually goes on to become a different species, right? And then you got your, this is some wild stuff, I know, but this is just, I'm just sort of introducing you guys of how I personally view these videos, right? So, and it's far out there, I know.
One day she's happy that she got me.
And I like this song, don't get me wrong. See, there's another consciousness, this three-headed serpent fucking thing. And then you got the fire, and then you got the robots that are gonna become the robots. This is where the human race is headed, right? Because of this whole thing that we just had that's going on right now, right? And then you see Kanye going into the grass, sort of thing, and then YMLE, he's in jail because of all that stuff right now. But I mean, he's gonna get out, and then you're gonna slowly get introduced to this whole, not arachnid, the fucking lizard fucking consciousness or whatever. Right? And nothing against any of these guys, man. Like, honestly, I'm just giving you my own personal interpretation of these music videos, and that's it, right? That's it. I think he's a really talented artist. He's one of the best. Not one of the best, but
I think I got mixed personalities.
But this is the splitting of the human consciousness, right? This is what this goes to. So some people are gonna stay human. Some people are just fucked and they're just completely fucking snake lizard-minded people. And some people, that's what that represents, is that lizard-minded consciousness, right? And Kanye is supposed to be representing like the human race, going back to like the Mother Earth consciousness, And the majority of these people that are in the classroom, which the classroom symbolizes the classroom that we're in right now, which is the classroom of life, and this has nothing to do. I mean, we all go back to the same place eventually, right? Right. So, you know, these robots are getting their bearings and shit like that. Right? Okay, and so what this is, and what that snake that just went by, see, I've only watched this video a few times. So what that snake would be that just went through, focus. Okay, so what that snake would be that just went through there, that's that technology that, what is it now? That it's liquid crystalline technology sort of thing, right? That has depth and stuff like that. And that's sort of a cloaking thing, and that, you know, fourth density consciousness uses that sort of cloaking technology, that whole LCD technology. There's a name for it, I forget. This is a bad presentation. I'll put the name at the bottom of this when I have a chance, right? Okay, so we'll keep going for a second. That's funny that she's eating pasta and stuff like that over his stomach, because when I died that one time, that's what I envisioned, when somebody was eating my intestines like pasta. I wonder if that's a common thing. I don't know, but this is how I would interpret that, right? So, because I've had that experience where I drank too much alcohol when I went into it. Doesn't matter, but okay, so we're gonna keep going on this. Okay, so we get the gist of it. Okay, so we're at 21 minutes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to chop some of this down into size, and so you guys have sort of just have an idea. But this is just basically just giving concepts, right? Just giving concepts so people sort of know how these things sort of play out, so they're more aware of how to, you know, how I judge things. Doesn't mean it's the right way to judge things, doesn't mean it's the wrong way to judge things. It's just my own personal interpretation of things, right? So people can take that for what it's worth, right? Maybe it's just entertainment value, or maybe it's, you know, do whatever you want with it, right? I'm not here to give you any personal advice or anything like that, right? But this is just how these things all get tied into this whole quantum. All I'm here to do is try to kind of show things how it's tied into the etheric network. That's it, right? So this has nothing to do with any of my own personal opinions or judgments or anything. I'm just simply giving you my own personal interpretation. So maybe it's just entertainment, maybe it's, I don't know, it could be whatever you want. Okay.